Hello everyone, it's Vaibhav here. In today's session of JForex indicators, we will be considering another indicator. So far, in last couple of sessions, I have explained to you various moving averages, and this time it's the turn of the Hull moving average. This is a recently developed moving average, and it has been developed to smooth out the price averages and get a smoother moving average. So that is the basic reason behind its development, and it was developed in 2005. So it's been almost like 15 to 17 years that it's been in the market, and it's quite famous, quite particularly liked by various traders, as it gives us a smoother trend for the underlying instrument even when there are sharp zigzag moves in the underlying instrument. So we will see how we can take advantage of this indicator to look for profitable trading opportunities on the JForex platform. So let us now head to the JForex platform here, which has been developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. This is the Euro USD chart. As most of the time, we use the Euro USD as the instrument of choice, and on it, we will plot the Hull moving average. So we do a quick search, and if you want to go through the list, it is included under the overlap studies. So you will find these indicators listed amongst these overlap studies. All right, and here it is. Otherwise, you can do a quick search and there you will get it directly. So let us now opt for this option of getting it found quite quickly with the quick search. Okay, so here it is. And as I explained to you, we have this particularly smooth moving average, and it follows the price very closely. Whenever there is sharp move in the underlying instrument, we see that even after this smoothing out, it goes with the price, and there is not much of a lag. So these were two particular reasons, and because of that, it has been favorite of the various traders, that we get not much lag. If we compare it to other indicators, you will see that there is not much of a lag. Suppose if I plot the SMA along with it of the same candle period, then there will be, now the SMA is of 14, the HMA is of 15 hourly candles. So I will change the SMA to 15. So we simply have to increase its duration by 1, and from the chart you can make out that there is quite a bit of lag between these price moves and the catching up of the SMA, but not so much in case of the HMA. And three different weighted moving averages are used while calculating these HMA. So we take the given time period for the calculation of the weighted moving average, then we take half of it, and with that we multiply the second moving average by 2, and then whatever is the result, we deduct the first weighted moving average from it, and then again we have to take the raw Hull moving average, and then again we have to take the weighted moving average of this raw Hull moving average, and then we come at the final Hull moving average. So that's quite a process, and for more detailed formula, as I can't really write here, and I can't really go into the details of how it is calculated. So for that, you will have to do a bit of search on the Google or any search platform, and then you will get its formula. For us, the calculation job is being done by the platform itself, so we don't really have to bother about its calculation much. But for us, the basic concern is how to use it, how we can take the advantage of these particular indicators. So for that, I will explain to you some methods, some ways, and also various options provided on the platform to customize these Hull moving average as per our requirement and take the best out of it. So for that, let us see what are the significant properties of this particular moving average. And one of the main significant properties is that it is closely following the price moves even when there are sharp price moves in the underlying instrument. As you can see in today's session itself, there is not much of a difference between these closing values and the hull moving average prices. And even if we go back in time, regardless of the sharp price moves, it follows the price moves quite closely, and there is not much of a lag. At the same time, the curves are quite smoother. We don't really have zigzag moves, or you can say uh, out of rhythmic moves. Rather than that, there is this smooth curves. Most of the time there are smooth curves whenever it changes direction from one side to other side, and because of that it looks quite well on the chart. So that's the advantage of this. Here, as I explained to you, three weighted moving averages are taken together to calculate this hull moving average, and because of that, we get this smoothing property of this hull moving average. Now, this is being calculated for the 15 candle period. Suppose if you want to work with the larger time frame, all you have to do is edit it. Let's go for 50, and then we have this 50 HMA plotted on the Euro USD chart. And of course, with the larger time frame data, there will be lag between the price moves and the moving average. So that's what we are observing still for such a large time frame HMA or moving average. It is still moving sharply, and it is not much showing not much of an lag. So that's quite a good development. At the same time, we have these smooth trend finding properties where we can rely on these trend of the HMA and take the trades accordingly. So most of the time, as it follows the price moves closely, we can take advantage of these curves, and whenever there is turn from one side to another side, we can look to initiate the trade as well. Other way to take advantage of these is to look on which side the price moves are happening. If the price moves are on the lower side while at the same time the HMA is in decline, then I think it is better to go for the sale trade. And another way, or you can say the inverse way of that interpretation, would be when we have price moves above this HMA and at the same time the HMA is on the rise, then that will be conducive for the buy trades, and we are likely to make money with following the trend. So whenever the price moves are on the lower side and in decline, the short sale is preferable. And when the conditions are inverted, when we have higher price moves with the HMA trending on the higher side, the buy trade should be preferred. So that's one of the way to look at it. Also, we can look for the deviations from these HMA, the average moving price, and if there is significant deviation, then we can also look for some retracement formation, the possibilities of retracement taking place, and providing us opportunities to go long or short as the conditions warrant. So that is also one way to use these HMA. Now let's see what are the editing options provided to us. This is being calculated on the closing price. Suppose if you want to work with the different price, open price, high price, low price, medium price, typical price, weighted close price, all these options are provided on the JForex platform. So open price, there will be some change in the plotting of these HMA, and I would suggest you to observe closely. Whenever we see, whenever we change the applied price, we see these HMA shifting on the higher side or on the lower side depending on the applied price. Now, if I use the low price as the applied price, the HMA has shifted lower. For the median price, it shifted again on the higher side. For the typical price, there is not much of a change, but little bit of adjustment. And the weighted close price, it hasn't changed much compared to the typical price, but still it is a bit different. And in case of weighted close price, more weight is being given to the closing value, and that's the only difference between the typical price and the weighted close price. Coming to the output, we can change the color combination. We can try out various colors provided to us on these platform. We can change the design of these indicator. So for that, we can try out various colors here. Let's make it a bit lighter. And if we want to change the style, say this with the increased width. So here we have, then you can work around these opaque transparency options. Suppose if you want to decrease the transparency, so here we have the HMA of 50 plotted, and it is quite easier on the eyes. You get the idea of where the HMA is. At the same time, the price action data remains prominent while looking at the chart, so we can use this kind of options to make the chart look better, and at the same time it is easier for us to comprehend what's going on in the market. We can look at the background HMA and make out that the trend is on the upside or on the downside. At the same time, the sharp moves in the price action will also be on our mind, so we can take the advantage of both of these things. So this is one interesting option, one interesting combination for us to work with. So that's how we can make changes to these. You can also apply different colors to the uptrend and downtrend. So that will become quite easier to spot whenever the trend change happens. Now the declining trend, the downtrend, is being plotted with the yellow color, whereas the uptrend is being plotted with these blue dots. So we have these color changes denoting us or notifying us the trend change in the underlying instrument. So whenever the trend changes, the HMA shifts direction. We can easily spot it using these various color combinations on the JForex platform. All right, now let's see what are other options provided to us. So this is that. Now coming to the advanced options, you can opt for these recalculate on new candle only. So the recalculation will be done only when new candle formation takes place. Till then, the value will remain constant. Highlight the time rate zone if you opt for this. If you tick mark this, then the particular time zone will be highlighted. If you want to calculate from the custom data, suppose if you are using a chart of different candle period, whereas you want to use the HMA of a different time frame, then all you have to do is the change the candle period of these HMA, and accordingly it will be plotted differently. Now the Euro USD chart is of the hourly time frame, whereas the HMA is of 4 hours 50 candle period. So this is basically 200 hours worth of HMA, and earlier it was being calculated on the chart candle period, so it was of 50 hours. So that's the change we are observing as we changed one of the property of these HMA using the editing option. Even if I change the candle period to 30, the plotting will be still of 4 hours. So that's an important property to remember, and it makes our job quite easier when we have to consider one particular time frames moving average, but we have to check the chart on different candle periods. Then I think this is the best option, where we opt for one particular candle period for the HMA, and then we see how the price is reacting to that particular HMA on the various time frames. So that's the reason behind these various combinations being provided to us. So we can look for the opportunities as and when they arise in the market and take advantage of these arising opportunities. Now let's see what more can be done. So we take the editing option, time zone, use from the chart. If you want to use a different time zone from the chart, then all you have to do is take these options provided to you, and depending on where you reside, you can take your country's chart zone, time zone also, provided it is available here. So these are all the options. On shorter period, display values at custom period end. or you can say whenever the candle period ends. So all these options are there. Each candle, the custom period middle or the custom period start or end. So all these options are there. All you have to do is take the option which suits your purpose the best and go for it. Show indicator on all periods. Suppose if you untick it, then you have to choose the candle periods on which the indicator will be shown, otherwise it will not be shown. Now that there is tick mark only on the hourly time frame, it will be shown when the candle period is hourly, but if I change it to say 4 hourly, then magically the indicator will vanish, it won't be shown anymore. Suppose if I change it to half an hour, then also no indicator will be plotted, as we have opted for the HMA to be shown only on the hourly time frame. So only on the hourly candle period chart, the HMA will be visible to us. So all these options make the job of finding opportunities quite easier and at the same time equally fun. So I would suggest that you try out these one interesting indicator and see how you can take advantage of these particular indicators, given the fact that I have explained most of the properties to use on charting, and you can always figure out new ways, new improved ways to take advantage of these indicator. So that's it from my side for today's session. For any query or any idea to share, you can write back to me in the feedback section. Also, check out the Dukascopy Analytics page. We are also available on the Facebook. You can reach out to us there. I have also included the link of this platform and all other links in the bio, so do check it out. Thank you all for joining in. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.